News at 1. President Tinubu approves recommencements of the National Social Investment Program. Nigeria Labour Congress staged peaceful protest nationwide. Glad to have you join us on the 1 p.m. news on 98 Channel 5 Abuja, the Unity Station. I am Abdullah Hejia. First, we begin from the presidency, where President Bola Tinubu has approved the recommencements of the National Social Investment Program earlier suspended. The decision was revealed at the end of the Federal Executive Council meeting at the State House on Monday. State House correspondent Musbah Wahab has details.
Second meeting of the Federal Executive Council in the year. Expectedly, memos were waiting for consideration. Most of them were to address the present socio-economic realities in the country. The interministerial panel set up 6 weeks ago to review the suspended National Social Investment Program submitted its interim report, which the Council considered. The Council approved that the viable programs, including the school feeding initiative and the conditional cash transfer, are to be sustained with modified mechanisms for better efficiency. At the briefing afterwards, the Finance and Coordinating Minister of Economy, Wale Edun, revealed that the Council believes the current situation demands an immediate reinstatement of transfer of 25,000 naira to 12 million households for the period of 3 months.
Direct payments to 12 million households comprising 60 million Nigerians is to resume immediately with the important proviso that every beneficiary will be identified by their NIN, National Identity Number, and their BVN, Bank Verification Number. And so therefore, payments will be made into bank accounts or mobile money wallets.
And what we're looking to do here is the triangulation of this data set to ensure that not only are we using the register that is properly been populated, but that we also do proper verification of every individual that will benefit from that investment, that social investment program, which means we will give commitment to ensuring that no one is paid twice, because you have to be properly ID'd before you can benefit from that program.
The government is also considering another program to boost the purchasing power of the Nigerian youth.
For the unemployed graduates as well as the society as a whole. So we have coming in the nearest future an unemployment benefit for the young unemployed in particular.
Meanwhile, the Council has approved the review of about 1,000 roads contracts across the country which have been stalled by the current forex realities. It equally approved the award of contract for the first phase of a coastal road which commences in Lagos.
Cost as approved by BPP is for 47.474 kilometers. That's phase 1, section 1, and it contains 2 carriageways, 2 service lanes, 2 service ducts, provision for rail infrastructure, and on the whole, 10 lanes in all per kilometer. And the cost is 1.067 trillion naira.
From the State House, Musbah Wahab, NTA News.
In a landmark decision, President Bola Tinubu has approved the implementation of the 8-long Orosaya report. This is one of the decisions taken at Monday's meeting of the Federal Executive Council at the State House. The report submitted by the Orosaya Committee under the Goodluck Ebele Jonathan administration in 2012 has endured successive administration without implementation. By implication, some federal agencies would either be scrapped, merged or relocated. Now to labor issues. Trade Union Congress of Nigeria, TUC, says it will not be participating in the planned nationwide protest to be embarked upon by the Nigerian Labour Congress, NLC. At a press conference in Abuja, President of the union, Festus Osifo, says TUC has examined the situation in the country and has drawn out solutions that will be engaging the federal government with. Joseph Olsen reports.
Persistent devaluation of the naira and increasing security challenges in many parts of the country to the Trade Union Congress of Nigeria, TUC, are the major causes of the current economic situation in the country.
You could check and recall that between July and October, what simply happened was that there was an instruction from the financial managers to the bank chief executives telling them that all bid that is much more than 790 should be rejected. And that was how we maintained that exchange rate. We stabilized that exchange rate within that period. So what we are demanding is that we can also do something like that.
The union wants government to hasten implementation of national minimum wage to boost purchasing power of Nigerians to drive the economy.
If the minimum wage is not increased, if the masses doesn't have money to purchase, the manufacturer warehouse will be filled because you don't have money to buy.
Other solutions to the union is for the Nigerian Customs Service to reduce rate of import on some manufacturing and agricultural produce, and if possible, a waiver. While advocating for consumption of made-in-Nigerian goods, the Labour Center urges government to pay more attention on curbing crude oil theft to increase production in the country, among other issues. In Abuja, Joseph Utsen, NTA News.
True acts of heroism are usually products of split-second decisive response to instinct when it matters most. About a week ago, along Accra Street in Season 5, Abuja, a senior Air Force officer demonstrated this uncommon valor when he saw civilians in distress at the mercy of dreaded evil suspected criminals that have come to be known as wenchans in the nation's capital. Like an American action movie scene, the hero in him rose to the situation, just as our correspondent Onuchi Yakubu in this report tracked the Air Force officer to the defense headquarters for a chat on his commando response to rescue one of the victims.
It was about 8 o'clock in the evening of Thursday, 15th February. The quiet and serene streets of Accra in Wuse Zone 5 neighborhood was a beehive. Then suddenly, this vehicle, painted in Abuja taxi color, was on high-speed reverse. Out of the vehicle, the voice of an unidentified woman distressfully called for help. While onlookers watched helplessly, this defense staff vehicle emerged and broke the speed of the suspected escaping one-chance vehicle. The military vehicle was greatly damaged, but that singular move led to the arrest of the suspected criminals, while the victims were rescued unhurt.
In his desperateness to escape, this is what he did to this man's vehicle. This military vehicle. See what he did. See what he did.
Meet Air Commodore John Gilantikiri Ijudegal, the uncommon hero who risked it all to save the one-chance victims from the clutches of near-death situation.
I witnessed a car that was reversing at high speed, and inside I was hearing help, help. And I felt they also needed, it should not just go like that. Anybody can need help. And I decided that we should make a U-turn so that to block their movement.
What set this incident apart was what happened next. After saving the victims from the one-chance syndicate, the suspects made for an escape on foot. But Air Commodore Judigal chased them into the bushes, sniffed the criminals out, and as well went ahead to also protect them from mob action.
It was a good thing that the crowd had gotten the driver of the vehicle, and there was also a lady. The lady wanted to walk into the crowd, pretended she was a victim, but it was a good thing that the ladies that were the victims identified her and said that she was part of them. So thereafter that I ensured all of them were brought to a particular place so that because the crowd was lynching them, I ensured they were brought to a particular place. Unfortunately, we were able to get in touch with the police, and the police sent the DPO of the Wuse, yes.
For the Nigerian Air Force, the very senior officer's display of gallantry and heroism speaks to the core of the Chief of the Air Staff Command's philosophy, hinged on an Air Force that is resilient and effectively responsive to national security needs of their operating environment.
Are concerned about the well-being of our civilian populace and will do anything, even if it means putting their lives on the line, to ensure that their safety is guaranteed. So it's a very positive sign for our younger ones that are coming behind. The Chief Air was commended him, and as of yesterday, I know that he has said that the senior officer should be given a letter of commendation. And for us in the military, being commended in writing is the most important thing that makes any officer proud.
Commodore Ijudigal is an embodiment of it all, including demonstrating unwavering commitment to interagency synergy. The Air Force officer contacted and waited for the police to take custody of the suspects to enable them face the full force of the law.
That spirit is all what we want. That was why that day I commended the Air Commodore. It's me that went to tow his vehicle with my vehicle, because what he did was what I used to do. It's commendable and appreciated, and appreciable by anybody. It's an appreciable gesture.
When such thing happens, everybody gets angry because he must have been a victim of such a situation. And of course, by venting their anger, beating the something, they feel they've solved the situation. But as I earlier said, if you get to talk to him, you get more information from him. So that's that.
This incident serves as a powerful reminder that there are dedicated law enforcement officers in Nigeria who put their nation and law-abiding citizens first, rather than their personal interests. In Abuja, Onotu Yakubu, NTA News.
You're watching the 1 p.m. news on NTA Channel 5 Abuja. Time now to go for a break. We'll be back with more news. You stay.
Good evening. Glad to have you join us.
Thanks for joining us on Weekly News Wrap.
Thank you very much for having me.
And it is on that note we welcome you to today's edition of the program.
We celebrate creativity, lasting impressions.
There's no book stating that this is the role for men.
On the news.
On the news at 7.
The Little Station, NTA Channel 5, Abuja, would say have a lovely day.
Welcome back. Now to labor matters. TUC has staged a solidarity protest calling on the legislative arm of government to intervene in the face of challenging economic situation and effects on Nigerian workers. Kama reports that the Senate Chairman Committee on Employment, Labor and Productivity, Senator Dickhead Plank, while responding to their plight, assured them of a prompt relief of action by the National Assembly in collaboration with the executive arm in no time.
Pleased to bring to you the latest on the ongoing protest by the NLC and TUC in the FCT. The protest is a direct response to the state of the economy in Nigeria. which has been described as unbearable due to the daily rising cost of commodities and its adverse effects on Nigerian workers. The NSC and TUC is calling for solidarity as they march from the Federal Secretariat in the central area to the National Assembly complex.
The poor masses are living in fear just because the security are not up to their games. And you understand what it means. Then the second one is our educational system. Our educational system should be looked into.
During the protest, the NSC president, Joe Ajaero, addressed the audience, highlighting the pressing issues affecting the nation. He emphasized the widespread hunger in the land and the urgent need for employment generation through massive investments in agriculture and value-added manufacturing. Ajaero also called for the fixing of the 4 refineries and also urged the government to ensure electricity and water are available and accessible.
On behalf of the Nigerian Labour Congress, we want to hand over the letter to the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Responding to the plight of the workers, the Chairman Senate Committee on Productivity and Labour responded.
I want to assure you that President Tinubu is concerned about the welfare of Nigerians. And I want to assure you the National Assembly leadership, particularly the Chairman of the National Assembly, His Excellency Godwill Akpabio, is restless about the resolution that will be met so that Nigerians will have a good welfare and that Nigeria will be secured. So all of us are very conscious of what is happening. All of us are on the same page. We feel for the government. We feel also for the people. There are new policies that are coming in. And I know that by the grace of God, with time, Nigerians will smile again.
As this situation unfolds, we will continue to monitor and provide you with the latest updates. Kama, NTA News.
Thank you, Kama. Not done you two yet, as we also talk security. Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps FCT has carried out successful operations targeting illegal activities of vandals in the territory. Kama again reports that the anti-vandal units of the NSCDC apprehended a total of 5 illegal miners, along with 3 other vandals who were paraded at the NSCDC command, Abuja.
How huge? How enormous?
During interrogations, the criminals disclosed unsettling details. It was revealed that a businessman paid a significant sum of 4 million naira to vandals to steal essential components such as bridge rails, telecom marks, equipment, pumping machines, and aluminium street furniture.
Our suspicion of a premeditated act of vandalism on the national assets and infrastructure. However, they are being profiled, being investigated, and further action that we are to carry out will determine the level of culpability.
The crackdown on illegal miners and vandals is a clear demonstration of a force committed to serving and safeguarding the interests of the nation.
The suspects in this case could not show any convincing evidence or approval obtained for the decommissioning of the said mast by the Corps. Neither do they have proper means of identification showing who they are and the company they worked for.
This recent operation, led by the FCT commandant of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, serves as a stark reminder of the ongoing threat posed to our national assets. It also highlights the pivotal role played by our security agencies in combating such illicit activities in Abuja. Kama, NTA News.
Now, talking religion, in the light of Quran 94 verses 5 and 6, Allah the Almighty categorically assures mankind of relief during difficult times. This informs the strength of Nasrullah Fateh Nasfat in Gudu to encourage the Muslim faithful to exercise faith always. Yours sincerely covered the events and now reports that the focus of the National Aslat prayer was in focus.
We need to return back to Allah.
Just as the Quran enjoins the people of faith to be strong in the face of life's trial and tribulations, these members of Nasfat Gudu Islamic Center are keeping hope alive to encourage one another through exhortation and sharing of spiritual moments.
We have to pray for the nation, for our members. Although things are difficult, but through prayer we encourage them that tomorrow will be better. With every hardship, there must be relieved. And what is happening in Nigeria is not only peculiar to Nigeria only. So we have to enlighten our members for them to understand and be patient with this present government.
Prayer is said to be to enhance the spirituality of believers. Everything is prayer. Whether good times in this prayer, whether bad time in this prayer.
Solution will definitely come to us. I believe it's answered because, we come here with our faith intact.
The global economic situation, with Nigeria having her own share, worshippers say dependence on Allah, who is the ultimate planner and provider, is key to possible solutions to the current realities.
Looking at the situation of the country, you see, we need to pray as usual for our leaders. We need prayer for this government. It's God that has power to cater for us about these problems.
If the youth should follow the leaders and also pray and adhere by the rules of the country, I believe that would be a big impact.
Glorification of Allah, salutation of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and seeking forgiveness regarded as strong weapons of intercession sufficed, with a special national prayer as well as individual requests were brought forward for Allah's intervention in line with his promise of ease after hardship. In Abuja, Abdullah Hajia, NTA News.
Let's now join our sports desk for Sports Brief.
Super Falcons coach Randy Waldrum has expressed excitement over the performances of his team following their 1-0 win over the indomitable Lionesses of Cameroon. Nigeria's Super Falcons made it through to the final qualifying round of the 2024 Paris Olympics on Monday evening in their second leg of their third-round tie against Cameroon.
I thought it was a great effort today. We picked up some injuries that we had to make some changes, and the players that came in did a great job. That's what you want. You want your players that come off the side to give you something. I thought Deborah was fantastic in midfield, ball winning, matching the physicality of the team. We struggle a little bit, but in these kind of performances that are a one-off knockout type match, you just have to work to get the result and do what you need to do to get the result. So I'm extremely, extremely proud of the team.
We are so privileged and so thankful for the opportunity, and we don't tend to take any of it for granted. And likewise, we're not going to take our opponents for granted. We would follow our coach's instructions and follow how he wants us to play. And I'm sure by God's grace and with the support of every Nigerian out there, we would overcome South Africa.
To athletics, world record holder Toby Amuson will miss this weekend's World Indoor Championship in Glasgow, Scotland, after she was excluded from Nigeria's final entry. Amuson passed on the opportunity to feature at the championship to intensify her preparation for the forthcoming All-African Games in Ghana, which holds from March 8 to 23. In another development, action in the ongoing FCT School Sports Festival, which began on Thursday last week, continues this Tuesday, with more finalists expected to emerge on ball and court events to be decided at 8 of the centers, including Abaji, Kwali, Kuje, Gwagwalada, Tunge Maji, GSS Griki, Karishi, and Duse Alaji. With Sports Brief, Francisca Bile, NTA News.
Thank you, Francisca. That's the size of our bulletin. But just before we go, let's take a look at some of the major highlights. The federal government's social investment program, earlier suspended, has recommenced as approved by President Tinubu. And on security, FCT and SCDC appeals to FCT residents to avoid vandalizing government properties. Do join us at 7 for more updates and news. I am Abdullah Hajia. Good afternoon.